All right, Shalom. First, let's start by saying all praise to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shemo Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. This is on the two dams that failed in Michigan. So I'm gonna go ahead and press play. Slack it.
Now to the latest on a catastrophic flooding devastating Michigan after those two dams collapsed. Rob Marciano is there in Midland for us this morning. Good morning, Rob.
Hi, good morning, Michael. It has been another historic May for rain across the Great Lakes, but especially here in mid-Michigan, where the rivers and reservoirs just couldn't handle it anymore. And this is the result. Bridges either underwater or completely washed away. And then downstream, as you get closer to Main Street, the library, the courthouse, seeing water there, as this river is at levels never been seen before. The infrastructure that was built to hold back this water, well, it failed. This morning, the residents of Midland, Michigan reeling from cataclysmic flooding after two dam failures. Buildings ripped from their foundations and floating away, forcing families who had been practicing social distancing to leave their homes. Mark Musselman and his wife lost everything as the powerful water tore through their home.
I mean, it went so fast compared to how slowly it gained that you could sit there and just literally watch all your stuff going down the lake and over the dike, and you were helpless.
Across central Michigan, scenes of waterlogged misery. This man swimming through chest-high water to see what's left of his home. Federal regulators had reportedly warned that both of the dams that failed on Tuesday were high risk.
Regarding the dams, the state of Michigan is reviewing every potential legal recourse that we have.
The National Guard stepping in, delivering crucial supplies and safely transporting survivors to evacuation sites where they must try to practice social distancing.
Couldn't sleep at all last night, probably because wearing that face mask. Supposed to wear it. They have sign in there to wear it, but there's some in there that still aren't wearing it.
What a tough situation. Some people actually driving to those shelters and sleeping in their cars for fear of the virus. You see the sun coming up here, but the water dangerously close to the main street here in Midland. And like many main streets across America, it was already economically hit hard by COVID-19 and the virus shut down. Dry weather expected today as this system unfortunately moves to the south for problems there, but this river is expected to remain at record levels well into the weekend. Michael?
Thank you so much, Rob.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more...
One deserves it, though. Severe flooding in Michigan.
It's just surreal. Yeah, it's devastation up north a little. It's bad.
Not a lot of time to get to a lot of other stories. This is one deserves it, though. Severe flooding in Michigan hitting record levels. Two dams failed, forcing about 10,000 to evacuate. Water covering the streets and flooding homes and stranding cars in Michigan. The governor, Gretchen Whitmer, declared a state of emergency for Midland County, about 75 miles north of Lansing. National Weather Service says the flooding is a, quote, life-threatening situation. Mike Tobin tracks that from our Midwest Bureau. Mike, what happened here?
Well, Bill, with sunshine in the forecast, I certainly wish I could tell the people of Midland, Michigan that it's going to get better. But the bad news is that the river is still on the way up. The Tittawabassee River is expected to crest sometime before 11 p.m. at 38 feet, which is 14 feet above flood stage. And what happened, answer to that question, is a lot of rain. The Edensville Dam got loaded up, and the National Weather Service says it suffered a catastrophic failure. That sent water downstream to the Sanford Dam, which was overtopped. Officials can't really tell what kind of shape that dam is in at the moment. But the water from the Sanford Dam then went into the Tittawabassee River, which flows through Midland, Michigan. Now, in the middle of a pandemic, 10,000 residents need to evacuate.
It's hard to believe that we're in the midst of a 100-year crisis, a global pandemic, and that we're also dealing with a flooding event that looks to be the worst in 500 years. But you know what? Here's what I know. When the chips are down, the people of Michigan are able to rise up.
Midland saw record flooding back in 1986. That was called a 100-year flood. This flood is expected to reach 4.5 feet above that. That's why you hear the governor calling this a 500-year flood.
I'm safe. Things can be replaced. Thank God, we're okay.
38 feet of water moving is dangerous. And so when people's houses and lives are at stake, it's just crazy to think about. Nothing that you can imagine without seeing it in person.
The president weighed in over Twitter, writing, "My team is closely monitoring the flooding in central Michigan. Stay safe. Listen to your local officials. Our brave first responders are once again stepping up to serve their fellow citizens. Thousands have left their homes. Most are falling back on friends and relatives. Some 300 stayed in the shelters, and they were all screened for coronavirus symptoms." Bill?
Mike Tobin, what a time, huh? Mike Tobin, thanks in Chicago.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Wednesday.
All right, as you can see, Yabashma was jacking them up, man. So I'm going to start with this precept. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 11. It says, "Thy pomp," meaning thy pride, "is brought to the grave, and the noise of thy vows." Right, and the pomp is talking about America's pride, man. America was, at one point in time, the place to come to, man. What do you call it? Slovakia. But yeah, no, America was the place to come to, man. The place that all the nations want to come to and get wealth, make money and live and everything, man. It says, "And the noise of thy vows," right? Talking about their music, man. "The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee." Right, man. That's talking about the corruption or the corrosion of the infrastructure, man. The U.S. Doesn't put its money into its infrastructure. It puts its money into its military might, man. It doesn't take care of its dams and everything. It doesn't take care of its dams, its roads, none of that stuff, man. And this is a prime example. The same thing has happened in New Orleans, man. And Esau really doesn't care, man. Whoever dies from this, they just die. It's part of their sacrifice and their agenda, man. But it's ultimately about Shemel Shai. And even if all of this stuff is, when you look at it, a lot of this stuff is planned out. They know that they don't take care of their infrastructure, so they know that stuff like this is bound to happen, man. This is Amos chapter 5, verse 19. It says, "As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him." Right, man? So all that's saying is that, no matter which way you turn, the people going to get their judgment, man. And in this case, that flood, you don't know who has probably perished from it. Not only that, as soon as they came outside, the coronavirus is real, but the numbers that they're giving off on how many people have died isn't real. But still, some people probably caught the coronavirus from this, man. So people's judgment, the Lord isn't holding back, man. People gonna get their judgment. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. It says, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven." Right? And let me see. Oh, a time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, man. That's the times we're living in, man. A lot of people are dying, and there's people being born just for their judgment. And America ultimately is being plucked up. That's why all these events is happening, man, the way they are. And it seems like people don't have nowhere to turn, no way to escape. No, they listen to the government, then the dam breaks. Now they got to be back outside and stuff. It's like, No matter which way they turn, they don't have no protection, no safety. And that's part of the prophecy, man. Because our people didn't want to hear, the blacks, Native Americans didn't want to hear who they were according to the Bible. They wanted to be everything else. And as far as the heathen nations go, their judgment is rightfully given, man. They're not going to make it to the kingdom of heaven. The second Ezra chapter 15 verse 1 says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord. Right, so we've been telling the blacks, Native Americans that things like this are going to happen, and that is prophecy, and it comes right up out of the Bible. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true, right? And that's talking about the Bible. Fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee, right? So we're not worried about what people say they're going to do unto us. Whether it's Jake or Esau or the rest of the nations. It says, let not the incredulity, the unbelief of them trouble thee. So if people don't believe what we say is going to happen through the spirit of Yahweh Shai coming from this book, man, then oh well, man. You know, that's why things like this happen. And people, they get caught up in it, man. It says, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So those who don't believe in this testimony in the Bible, gonna die, man. Behold, the Lord said, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Right, and as you can see, man, that's what's going on in this place, man. They haven't announced any deaths or any people that may have caught the COVID from this event happening, but you never know. They might announce, they might not. But still, man, no matter how you look at it, that's what's going on in America, man, in the rest of the world, man, too. This Amos chapter 5 verse 10, it says, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Right, so you know, this is for Jake and them that don't like what we got to say, man, when it's coming from the Bible, man. That's why they be catching these judgments like this, man, where they dying from flood waters and stuff of that nature, man. And it's all and all of it, a lot of majority of these events, if not all of them, have been record-breaking events, man. You know, but I don't want to drag it out too much longer. Call Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity, the hopeful elect. Shalom.